Good.
All right, it's the rundown. It is Tuesday. It is Valentine's Day, February 14th.
It's Wednesday.
What's that?
It's Wednesday. I don't want you to miss your flight tomorrow.
Did I say it was Tuesday?
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't want you to miss your flight.
It is Wednesday. Speaking of flight, shout out Brett. Told him last time when there's a million of us going, get us private jet. It's more cost effective. It's easier. It's better. We just didn't do that. Maybe next time.
Wait, there is no private jet?
No. Nope.
That sucks.
Commercial. For no reason.
It's really more cost effective to get a whole fucking plane.
Well, yeah, when you send like 20 people
Yeah,
down there.
and it's like we
Yeah,
can
I
get
just
people
thought, I
like,
saw the
but
private
we
jets
get-
are still like
yeah,
way
but
too
we
expensive.
also offset it because you get advertisers to spot it. It would be cheaper,
And you
easier.
can't fly direct to any
We
of these
can land
places in
right
West
in
Virginia.
Morgantown as opposed to Pittsburgh. So it just makes everybody's
I
life
feel like we would just land
far
like in a
more
fucking
difficult.
field in
No,
West
it-
Virginia.
I was pissed because I
makes
was
everybody's
like,
life far more
we're
difficult.
doing, you're like, yeah, we're going to do a private jet. And I was like, really could have used that when I had to drive 8 hours back from West Virginia
Yep.
after they fucking canceled our flight.
Yep.
That stupid airport.
Yep.
Wherever the
Yep.
fuck that
Happy
is.
Valentine's Day. Rough and Rowdy, Friday. The sales are great. It's going to be another blockbuster event. Smitty, I think, thinks he's fighting Rappaport. He maybe thinks he's fighting
if
me.
you
I
swapped
don't.
out
He's going to be
Chef
who's this
for
in the ring?
Rappaport?
Who's in the ring? Chef? I'm fighting Chef?
I hope he saves some anger for Chef because he is fucking.
He's worried about
pissed at
everything
Rappaport.
except Chef. He's worried about Rappaport. He's worried about McAfee
Which
rigging
means,
the refs.
Which means in a backwards way, he's very worried about Chef.
Because
he's lashing out at everyone else.
Everybody. That's kind of what Tex did. Tex tried to fight me before he fought Hank.
It's just 4 hours before the fight.
Yeah. MVMT watches. Buy the fight. It's available at roughandrowdybrawl.com. It's $9.99. It becomes $15.99 day of fight. MVMT watches. You get 15% off, free shipping and returns. Go to www.mvmtwatches.com/rundown. You get 15% off, free shipping and returns at MVMT watches. All right, Olympics will lead because there's really nothing going else unless you want to hear horrible gambling stories about me.
Yeah.
Which is
Yes.
Yeah. So I decided last night. I've decided I'm always on the wrong side of trends. Like when I'm betting overs, they're going under, then I get off and whatever. Yesterday.
Oh, well, let me guess.
No, you're not gonna guess this.
Okay.
I was doing heavy NHL favorites.
Oh,
yesterday.
Jesus Christ,
So
Dave.
yesterday was my heavy NHL favorite day. I didn't get killed. I had the Bruins winner. I had Penguins winner. Somebody else won. I bet against the Sabres. They beat Tampa Bay. That was a double money loser. The game that killed me was Devils, Flyers. Flyers were up a goal with like 50 seconds left. Listening to the shootout on radio call is a low moment.
I had a moment yesterday. We were taping part of my take at like 8:30, and I had Nebraska -2.
I had them.
I come out and I asked him to put on the TV with 10 seconds left. Nebraska was wearing black and Maryland was wearing white, but Nebraska was home. So I literally spent the last 10 seconds rooting like the opposite. And I was like, why the fuck are you fouling?
With 0.9
and then
seconds.
the black team goes up and shoots a free throw, and it goes up 1 for Nebraska. I was like, wait, what? I won?
Yeah.
So that was a thrilling.
That was a tight ending.
Yes,
yeah,
very tight.
0.9.
Yeah.
And
And fouled.
I don't like, and now we're going off our gambling tangents, but for those not at home, so it was -2. Nebraska was up 3 and was in automatic foul mode with like 5 seconds, which they did. The guy hit the first, cut it to 2, and then he had the best intentional miss of a free throw.
Arc like crazy, yeah.
That
fucking lunatic.
That can go in like 100% of the time.
Right.
Like he shot that so close to it
And then
just
they fouled with
swishing.
0.9 seconds left
So
to get the
anyways,
cover.
other than degenerate gambling, and then I placed 3 bets for 9 o'clock games, by the way, and one of them went through and the other 2 didn't because it says started. Miami went through and Michigan State and fucking Alabama didn't, obviously. I don't know if I can contest that.
I had the same thing happen. I had the
feel
same
like
thing
you
happen.
should
I
be
had the
able to
Miami
contest
under, and
that.
I thought I put it in, but I didn't. And it was the easiest under ever.
But when I placed all 3, it said 2 of them, it's like too late.
Yeah,
this
you
game
sh-
started.
Oh, yeah,
One of
yeah.
them went through. They were all 9 o'clock starts.
Yeah,
I
no,
placed-
but Miami got pushed to 9:08 because the other game was ending. The Texas A&M game was ending.
What a dick.
Yeah. Texas Tech.
Besides that, Olympics.
We're deep into college basketball.
Yeah, we are. I'm deep into everything. Flying Tomato won another gold medal. Guy's like 100. He's got a good haircut. The bigger story, though, actually became after he won. He called his sexual assault charges gossip.
You know, honestly, we're here to talk about the Olympics, not, gossip. So, But I don't think so. I am who I am, and I'm proud of who I am, and my friends, love me and vouch for me, and I think that stands.
That became a story. He was on like Good Morning America. It's interesting on this stuff because you can tell Good Morning America, whatever the NBC, it's like they're so gentle then. And it's like he is clear he knows the questions. And,
Yeah, they lobbed that up for him.
yeah, right. It's like, here you go. And it's like how he handles it and everything's kid gloves. Even when he was during the interview, they're like, no more questions about that. It's just a very protected, weird environment.
They keep talking about how he didn't medal last time, and then he had that injury. He got like 60 stitches, and they keep like harping on that, how it's like a great comeback story and all that. And then, but there's just like this fucking elephant in the room that they refuse to address. It's kind of like.
That last run was
ask
wild. Did
those
you watch
questions,
it?
though.
Did you watch the last run?
watching
it was
it.
fucking
Where did he do like a
sick.
12?
I don't know what
He
like.
did like 5 spins. or
I don't
something.
know what the scoring is
1440,
and shit,
4
and like I
spins.
don't. But it was he was doing tricks that were insane.
How old is he?
He's got to be like he's got close to 30, right? Well,
Which is,
he's
like,
one of those guys who
ancient for
won
their
his
shit.
first. He won his first gold medal when he was like 17. How old is he? 31.
Yeah, that's like you're a dinosaur.
Crazy, crazy.
What's Hank doing?
And then they went straight from that to like pair figure skating, and it just the buzz wore off so fast.
I'm so far out on these Olympics. I didn't even watch. I'm just watching degenerate
I mean,
gambling
even
stuff.
watching
I'm
this
just
dude-
I'm just refreshing scores to see NHL, waiting for goal things to change.
Even watching this
it's
dude
terrible.
spin 4 times doesn't
No,
like do it
dude,
for you?
no.
It was insane.
I mean,
not
that
a
guy's
big
like flying through the air.
Yeah.
By the way, the other thing that happened last night, did you see the dog that won Best in Show?
I watched a little bit of
Shaun
Westminster.
Priest.
He was a poof.
A little fluff ball.
Yeah, he was
that
a poof.
and his
was-
eyes were so gross.
Ravel was
and
sucking his own dick.
Yeah,
because
because fuck Ravel and
He had
fuck
like
the Bichon free.
The poof was
Oh,
ridiculous.
The Border Collie was such a good dog. So, they should. The problem with Westminster is they judge these dogs on like these stupid things that no one who loves dogs cares about, like the genetics and how they stand and how their tail points up. Just show me a good-looking dog that is like attentive. Like the Border Collie is a dog you'd love to have. The other dogs, not so much. That's my Westminster.
Yeah.
Just give it. Let a normal person judge the Westminster.
Another Olympic story. We had a Kim Jong. I'm distracted by Hank's light for some reason. I'm like the dog. Kim Jong impersonator trolling the North Korean dance squad. Then basically, which I love this guy because then he gets like kind of pulled over by the police. And they're like, "What are you stopping me for?"
So what are we doing here? Are we playing a staring contest? Gentlemen? I mean, this is crazy. You got about 10 policemen. What do you think I'm gonna do? I haven't been violent. I just want to see the game. So what's the problem?
Because he didn't do it. He just looks like the guy.
Yeah.
So like, what are you gonna? So like, what, you were gonna arrest me for looking like Kim Jong's son? Like they can't. They were so perplexed what to do with this guy. And he's like, what did I do? I'm just watching the game and turned around. And he's right. You just happened. It's the perfect troll.
Didn't at one point, didn't you have to have the same haircut as him at one point? And then he
In North
banned it
Korea,
totally.
yeah,
that you
yeah.
couldn't. I mean, there's a lot.
This
of people
guy's
running
not
around
North
who look
Korean.
Like
He's just
No, I
like
know,
he was
but I'm
like,
saying
yeah,
there's
my
a lot
name's
of people
Harry.
who look-
yeah, he's like, I'm
It was
Howard.
Howard. It was
Yeah,
Howard.
Howard, yeah, I'm Howard.
But I mean, he's gonna die too.
Oh,
Yo,
they're gonna
you
kill
gotta
him
get
so
out.
fast.
You gotta get out.
Oh,
he's
he's
not getting
dead.
arrested, but he's
he
gonna get
doesn't.
blown up,
He
but-
didn't seem remotely aware of the fact that he's a dead man.
Yeah, crazy.
Like, all right, you won this round because they're not
Kim
arresting
Jong-un-
you, but you're gonna get blown
I'd
up.
actually like to put a shark tracker on him.
Yeah.
Like, because if he's alive in like 2 months, then North Korea is a fraud.
Does that dude know that like Kim Jong Un had those female assassins spit poison in that guy's face?
I would love to see that.
Like you figure it out. Man.
That was
Get
the
out.
best. That was the best real life murder I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like on tape, and she just went up and was like Mr. Miyagi, like Mr. Fuji, like in the face, and then you're dead. But if this guy survives, that's
Kim
a little,
Jong's lost his touch.
yeah.
I still think if Kim Jong doesn't like blow up the whole Olympics, he's lost his touch.
It's a little aggressive. I hope he doesn't do that.
So do I, but I'm just saying, it's like if you're gonna be a supervillain in the world and like the world comes to you, you gotta blow it up.
I want to be on the record. I want this impersonator to die, but I don't want all the Olympics to get murdered. That's a little bit dark.
Yeah.
Tommy John, the underwear, 20% off. This is my dad's big supporter of Tommy John. TommyJohn.com/rundown. Unparalleled comfort, best pair guarantee. If you don't love it, if you don't love how it's on you, it's on them. So that's a good deal. Tommy John, 20% off. TommyJohn.com/rundown.
Your daddy emailed me today. He's like, "What would it take to get you on the Sirius show?" It's like, first of all, you have my number. Second of all, like, what do you mean?
just
Like,
ask.
just tell me when you want me on the Sirius show.
You should have like thrown some demands out there and see what it did.
I want
like $500.
I want
Just, like,
5% of your
throw cash-
T-shirts.
Throw out an attainable cash amount and see what he does.
I'm just always weirded out when someone has your number and they email you.
Oh, well, my dad doesn't play by the
But
rules
like we
of modern
text,
communication
like,
society.
but we text semi-frequently. Like, to then just go
Yeah, I
switch
mean,
it back to email.
You literally can't judge anything
Can't
by
predict.
what
He's gonna
my
DM
dad
me
does.
next.
He'll fax
Yeah,
you.
he'll Twitter DM me.
Yeah, that would be wild. Warren Sapp got served, so he thought he was doing an autograph session. Well, he was. The guy went up, shook his hand, took his picture, and then served him.
Hey, how's it going, man?
What's up, baby?
Hey, how's it going?
Been good?
Good. Oh, yeah, and you asked Mr. Warren, you're being served as well. Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have either of you guys ever been served?
No.
I have.
It's got to be the worst feeling in the
It's
world.
it
Especially
was
when you get snaked like
it was
that.
back. I did get snaked because my dad, Michael Portnoy Esquire, back in the early Barstool days, he just and you can ask anybody who was at our old office. Strict rules: don't sign for anything, don't open the door, don't do anything, because if they don't like sign for it, you can't like continue the process. So my dad's like, just don't do, because people all the time were coming at us. So I was avoiding it. They hired a private detective. One day I was sitting in my car in my driveway, he just knocked on the window, and I rolled it down, and he just dropped it on my lap.
See, the guys who do the serving, like, that's got to be the most thrilling job ever.
Yeah.
Like, that and being a repo man are, like, the two things that if my life
kinda-
falls apart, I want those jobs.
I think the opposite. Like especially it was Warren Sapp. Like I don't want to piss that dude off.
Well,
that's
and,
an electric moment. Like, the adrenaline rush of walking up to Warren
And it's
Sapp,
public.
like, you've been served.
Yeah, but I mean, you've heard of, like, don't shoot the messenger. Like Warren Sapp's the type of guy who would fucking shoot the messenger.
I gotta say, Warren Sapp, I think he's pretty much a scumbag. I think people probably realize that, but he handled that pretty well. Like, I was expecting
Yeah.
him to be very pissed. He's
That's
like, oh,
what I'm
thank
saying.
you.
Well, it all I mean, he was
It happened
like,
very
think he
fast,
and
in public.
but that's my point. Is like
And
a
in public.
knee-jerk reaction from Warren Sapp. I would expect to be violence.
I was so mad when I got served. I was like, fuck, how'd I fall for that? And then I was
Yeah, but
like,
it's-
what
I
if I
mean-
just deny it? I don't know if he took a picture of me. I didn't notice that part.
Well,
Like,
now they're wearing body cams.
Yeah,
you saw
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Smart.
It's not even. I mean, I'm sure the lawsuit sucked too, but it's that somebody beat you at.
yeah,
like, the fucking game,
like
you know?
he caught me so off guard just knocking on the window. It's like, what? And they dropped it. Like, yeah, motherfucker. This is obviously a tragedy, this next story, and I'll tell you why I put it on here. Bill Haas, golfer, he was in a Lamborghini that was going too fast, big accident in L.A. The driver actually died, so it was a tragedy. They crashed into Luke Wilson, the actor, and this is just how I picture L.A. Like, you
crazy.
just, like, famous people just crashing into famous people. They weren't together, right? They
No.
just were
Happened
just,
to be, yeah.
Yeah.
that's just L.A.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad, clearly, but I think there's just famous people just
Yeah.
everywhere.
Wild story.
Wild.
I mean, I think Bill's okay, but like, yeah, the fact that Luke Wilson was just like a next line in the story
Yeah.
is just insane.
Crazy stuff. Last one, Barstool back in the news, as is a lot of things. So we have a new show that launched on Barstool 85, 2 to 4, Dallas Brayton dialed in. A co-host, he's got a 3-person panel, Brody Stevens, Dallas's show, and Patrick O'Connor, PCon, who is a radio host in San Francisco. Took them all at 2 seconds. Maybe that's actually saying too long, but he instantly made news. He made a comment about Chloe Sims, that's her name,
Kim.
right? Kim. Chloe Kim, the snowboarder, 17, said if she was 18, he started off down a bad path. He was going dazed and confused, like the Wooderson. I keep getting older girls to say the same. If she was 18, I'd feel comfortable saying she's a hot piece of ass. My friend Laura Wagner, who I have a crush on, who literally, her entire beat is Barstool Sports. She writes about us.
Yeah, I wonder what happened that Sammer lost that beat.
No, she.
They got a new editor-in-chief, so I wonder if she was
Laura,
just like,
you're
Laura,
good.
that's your new gig.
I mean, 2 to 3 times a week. This is really the first one in a while that stuck for her in terms of other people picking it up. You know, it's interesting. It sucks that a guy who's been with us for maybe 5 seconds is now Barstool Sports in his new show, so he does represent us. I think the overreaction. I think it's an overreaction what people are doing. It's a dumb comment. I wouldn't have made the comment. The social climate we're in. I think if you say she's kind of a cutie, you're fine. But hot piece of ass, too far, drew the attention. News. I will say the thing that bothers me and is so hypocritical about it is like people are freaking. And I don't think it matters if she's 17 or 18. I know that's a convenient thing to say. It's like sexualizing women, but
Oh, I think that matters, no?
I don't think it makes a big
I think
difference.
it makes it worse.
I think
It makes it makes it easier to make it a target. Oh no,
I think it just comes down to.
I think
it's like
if she's 18 and he says she's a hot piece of ass, it's still people are freaking. I think.
Yeah, I agree with that because the problem is, it's like it's a creepy comment. Like
Yep.
it's a creepy comment for like a grown man to say that, and
Agreed.
also Chloe Kim is the darling of the Olympics in the moment. And I mean, I know PCon. I've known him for a few years. I've like go on his show every now and then. Like the problem is, I think PCon knows he fucked up, and it's like
he definitely knows he fucked up.
It's like the Emily Austin where you come to Barstool and you're like, I got to say something like over the top where you get caught, and like that's where it's like, come on, man, like you got to be better than that.
Like
but he knows he fucked up.
Do you think Laura
There's
Wagner
no reason
is
to
gonna
bury
look
him.
up, like all your Michaela Maroney blogs?
But yeah,
That
maybe.
was like your running thing
But
for like several years.
Well, that was the whole internet. That's the thing is like I think that's the other part is that the internet used to be like that and it's not anymore. And so
I mean,
you
It was
know, you
also
have to have
Kylie.
awareness.
It was
it's
also
situational
Kylie.
awareness.
There has
But
always
my
been,
shtick
like-
on that was she's acting like unless I missed it, Sims has never done anything remotely
Kim,
sexual. Like
Right.
Bitch
She's
Face
looking
was
for it,
like
yeah.
every
Right.
2
Well,
seconds.
remember they had the countdown clock for the Olsen twins.
Yes,
Yeah,
right.
I was
It
gonna say, they've had
creepy
countdown
shit.
clocks for anybody
Yeah.
who's ever been
But it was,
young and
but looking
turning
back,
of
it's
age.
creepy. It's
Yeah.
creepy as fuck.
But my point with this is, and he said it in a way that was, it's, oh my God, hot piece of ass. The Russian curler, who's older, but fine, she's like the #1 story. People just talking about how fucking hot she is. And if there's stories like she's just the sexiest
Like
woman
the
ever.
Australian sprinter.
And
they do like the
and
condom stories. There's like sex
and the
all over
bulges,
Olympics.
the BuzzFeed bulges
like,
is more
sex in the
sexual and
Olympics is
offensive.
not
So
that
it's
rare.
right. So he made a stupid comment. Should he be now? It's Dallas's show, so Dallas can do whatever he wants. I would never fire somebody over this particular thing. I think it was a mistake. He's brand new. Whatever. It was a stupid comment. But it's so hypocritical. Like if it wasn't, if somebody else said that, that's not like this Laura Wagner hangs on everything we say. It's crazy. And she's throwing as much mud against the wall. It sucks for PCon, sucks for Dallas.
But that's also a lesson for us as a company because I think there's been a long time where it's like we're kind of talking to just our fans, and now you got to realize that other people are listening and waiting for us to trip up.
But the flip side of that is like WEI, who's had a couple scandals, Ross scandals, maybe they had the Don Yee impersonation, which to me is far worse. But I mean, I guess they're both different comments. So they are going dark for an entire day. They issued a statement. The entire company is doing sensitivity training. I actually wrote something, and it's kind of with the PCon. Like PCon fucked up. All right, that was like something I wouldn't say and shouldn't have.
He
been
also
said.
apologized, which
Totally.
I think like that means something when you immediately I think it was it last night or this morning? Like,
Totally.
Like earlier
being
this
able
morning.
to like stand up and be like, yeah, I fucked up. That was like that's why it's like you can't bury the guy for one comment when he's on
And-
the radio for
Trying to joke,
15
too,
years.
That's
It
what
wasn't
I
anything
was saying.
malicious, it
It's
wasn't
like
anything-
we live in a society where people who are trying to do like whether you satire, comedy, lighthearted shit. When you're doing it every day, and now we have the radio station, so it's 8 hours a day. We're blogging nonstop. There'll be misses. But the overreaction to the misses, like, all right, that joke didn't play. Move on to the next. But like the EEI thing, everyone is so on edge, and these overreactions. It's tough. Pretty soon there'll be nobody. Like that's what the Laura Wagners of the world, which is, by the way, the irony of it coming from Deadspin, who literally went out of business because they illegally taped a sex act, amongst a million other things they do, to then be the moral police. But there'll be nobody left. That is the good thing that I think with Churn and all of it. It's like, listen, we will fuck up, and people who work as we get bigger. We have 90 people. So it's like we're hiring new people. Things will happen, and not everyone's like slowly getting grown up in the Barstool world. There'll be mistakes, but you just got to you can't change what you do. Because if it changes what you do, then there's going to be nobody left like Barstool or people actually
Right,
just
if you
trying to be
blow in
funny.
the wind to whatever, the reaction is. And I mean, I said it last night on the Evening Yak. Like, there was definitely a time a few years ago where I cared a lot more what other people thought that didn't like us. But, the BVT stuff like taught me a lesson, like that basically no matter what we do, there's going to be people who hate us, and there's going to be people who are going to find old things and say you're an asshole for this, this, and this. If you change because of these few people who despise you, guess what? They're not going to start liking you.
Right.
Like they're not going to like you because you're not like doing, changed a little bit. You just have to keep trying to be funny and not, and don't say things that are just for shock or sensational and like you always say, Dave. Like if the goal is to make people laugh, you miss every now and then, but it's not like it's a malicious thing, and it's also not like we're just out there trying to shock everyone all the time.
Right. And I mean, I even ran into because people are chirping me that I was unfair to Laura Wagner and everything. Like I'll never change that. Like those people, like
what were they saying about?
That now I'm trying to intimidate Laura Wagner. It's like Laura Wagner won't shut up about us. Like this isn't like one article. She writes something about us every fucking 2 minutes. So yeah.
Any Valentine's plans?
I'd like to fucking take her out to Valentine's Day and stick my tongue down her throat. No, that's funny though. That's funny.
The irony of Deadspin and like what they've become, like they basically are around just to critique other people and say like you're wrong, this is a bad take, this is awful. That's their entire existence now. So then if we play back a little, we're in the it makes no sense. They can't just be the judge, jury, and executioner
They've become
of
awful
everything.
announcing, really, where it's
Right,
just like we're
but
just
awful
gonna judge
announcing
other-
is not awful announcing anymore. They've lightened up a little and like been like, you know what?
Deadspin's the worst. Her only thing is to
boring.
write something bad about us and hope it does what it does yesterday, which is other people pick it up and it goes viral. And it's like, I feel bad. I don't feel bad. PCon fucked up. It was a stupid, like, hot piece of ass. And it's just
dumb.
a weird lingo from an old, like, I'm
Yeah,
an
it's
older
creepy.
guy.
It's
Yeah,
creepy.
like, yeah.
I think he would even admit that was like if you listen back to it, it's creepy.
Yes, agreed. So, but is it like national news? No, I don't think it is.
That he caught the you got to also know just time and place. Like Chloe Kim was national news. So then if you
They're talking
kind of
about
go off of that,
she's underage.
Right.
She's
If
the
you have a
darling,
Shaun White
she's an
take right
immigrant,
now,
there was
people will
political
pick it up.
aspects about it. Like
Right.
you shouldn't talk about her at all.
Right.
Other than saying she's awesome, great job winning the medal.
right.
All right, that's the rundown. Another eventful day.
Rough and rowdy.
Rough and Rowdy Friday. Let's just get back to fucking guys punching each other in the face.
Yeah.
The good old days.
Yeah, Bubba versus Bubba.
But have you watched
I
that?
have. Yeah, it's
The
ridiculous.
Bubba Train.
The
Little
Bubbas.
Bub, Little Bub, Big Bub. All right, that's the rundown.